This is Spirit Iron Knife from the G.I. Joe Classified Series 6-inch wave of figures. So I must say that I was pretty excited for this figure ever since Hasbro unveiled him. I think it was at Hasbro PostCon just a couple months ago, and they just released him, or starting to release him, and he looks great. First review of the year, so I am pretty excited to take a look at it. He is number 36 in the numbered wave of Classified Series figures. You can see he comes with the bald eagle, and then we have the weapons on the side there with some accessories, you know, that you can attach to the figure. New art, they did change the art. Maybe they went with a different artist, and I must say I'm not a big fan of this. I prefer the more realistic art, but take a look at that. Not my favorite, but that's just me. On the back side, they did change up the poster image, added some characters that they have introduced into the wave or into the line, some figures. So we got the classic Storm Shadow that is part of this wave. The Alley Vipers are in there too. So they definitely added some more characters to the poster, so that changed. Now pre-orders are still up on babyattoystore.com, so be sure to check out the link down below in the description if you guys are interested in getting yourself one of these figures. Alright, so the first review of the year is underway, and we're looking at Spirit Iron Knife. So first things first, out of the box, he's very sturdy, very good quality. The G.I. Joe Classified Series wave has had the tendency to have some loose joints here and then, but this guy is pretty tight overall, so I'm liking that. Good improvement on the on the quality of the joints in the overall plastic and figure itself. The look looks great. The paint apps look really good, and the head sculpt is pretty much the best part of the figure. But overall, I'm liking the diversity of all the colors, if that makes sense. A lot of colors here. They do tend, at least in past releases, to not paint some of the added on pieces. Like here, this is a good example. The grenade and flashbang are just black. That could have been painted. I don't know, just my opinion. But out of the box, looking pretty fresh. He does have accessories, as we saw through the window, so we'll get a look at that. And these have improved as well. I think this is a new weapon. I don't think I've seen this before with any of the G.I. Joe Classified Series figures, but just a little under barrel paint brown on the black rifle makes all the difference for me. I wish there was more paint, yes, but I'll take what I can get. Looks very good with that paint application there. So there is the sniper rifle that he comes with. He also does come with a little backpack, of course, and this looks a little odd color-wise. I don't know why they went with this like khaki-ish, brownish color with black on the top. Seems weird. We do get this little piece on the top for Freedom, our bald eagle. Freedom the Eagle. Freedom Eagle, however you want to say it. But Freedom Eagle can sit up top here with those two peg holes. Up next we get a pistol. It's just all black, pretty standard. And then we get a combat knife that is painted. I do appreciate that. Always appreciate painted accessories. And of course, as I say that, we get a unpainted version of the knife. So we get two knives. This one's just all black. You can just see the difference here. I mean, which one would you prefer to have your figures holding? Definitely the painted version. But yes, knives can come in all black. I've seen them, so I guess that's the thing. And then last but not least, I guess this counts as an accessory, but we can count him as a figure too. We get Freedom Eagle here, and he's looking pretty dope. Looking very, very nice. Here's a little look at him, and then we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here is the head sculpt of Freedom, and the beak and the eyes came out really good. They are very small, but they're pretty clean. So it looks pretty good. And then here's the torso. There's the wings. Got some nice paint app details there. It's got some light brown with some dark brown. Feathers are sculpted. And then the talons. Got the big old pegs there, so you can have him sit on either the backpack or the figure. As for the articulation of Freedom, the head's going to move up and down like that. You can look left and right. It's going to be more of a head tilt. The wings do not open up, but they do pop off And we do get an alternate set of wings, so we can have him flapping or just expanding his wings completely. So you can see here on one side is pretty detailed, the other side is not. I need to figure out which side is inwards, which side I believe the detail side is going to be the outside. So the non-detailed side is going to be the inside. So let's go ahead and attach it to Freedom. It's just a big old ball joint peg. So once you attach the wings, look at that, you can have him flying. The articulated head will help with that because he can look all the way up, so you can fly mid-flight. Or you can move the head down and just have him expand the wings while he's perched on a tree or on, on someone's arm or shoulder. So pretty cool. We get the option there with the wings. One of my wings is very tight, and when you move it around, the plastic starts to stress. You see it gets white right there. Be careful with that. This one's just fine, but this one is very, very tight, and it seems like it's, it could break or really stress the plastic over time. Maybe it's just mine. I just wanted to point that out. Pretty cool accessory. Overall, this accessory is one of the best that I've seen in this line. Here's a closer shot, and the paint apps looks good. The headband, pretty good, and then the whole hair sculpt came on nice too. We can see a little emblem or symbol on his shoulder there, printed very nice. And then another one here is printed nice too. As we see the harness over his chest, as I mentioned earlier, we had the grenade and flashbang. There is a holster for the knife. It does come with 2 knives, so let's see. They are different sculpted knives. I think the fancy one goes up to the fancy holster, like that. The other holster's on his side. We can put the non-fancy knife here. I'm sure they fit in both, but there you go. Holster is painted. The belt is painted at the buckle. We do get a holster for his pistol, so that's nice. I always like holsters for all the accessories. That holster's in just like that. You can see the sculpt in detail. Back to the torso, the undershirt is red. Overall, it's just blue plastic. We get textured pants here, same color as that brown on the backpack. And then there's the boots. Here's the back side. We get a peg hole, of course, for our backpack accessory. Twist and push, and that's going to go in just like that. It's all coming together, looking pretty dope. And then last but not least, we have... Well, not last but not least, we have 2 more accessories. We have Freedom. Let's see if I can peg him in on camera onto this little perch on his backpack. I'm sure I can push it in a little harder off camera, but there he is right now real quick. There's also another peg here sticking out. That is for his last but not least. I assume it's for his rifle, right? But I'm looking at the rifle now and I don't see a peg hole there. So that's odd. Normally they do give us these pegs on the backpack for rifles or whatnot, but I don't see it here. Maybe if you put it through the trigger like that. See that? I guess that works, kinda. You can make it work for sure. Alright, let's pan out just a little bit here. I know I was super up close because I wanted to get you guys the super close shot at the details and paint apps, but now you can kind of see everything all together here, panned out. I did forget to mention that Freedom has articulated legs too, so he can go forward and back with those leg hinges in the talons. I guess I should say the ankles do swivel left and right, although you really don't need that feature, but it's there. But he perches up on top just fine, of course, thanks to those pegs, the peg holes in that, perch on top of the backpack. So that looks good. Right now the wings are spread, of course, but you can alternate the wings just like that, which I think I prefer, of course. But as you saw, he can balance with the weight of Freedom on his shoulders just fine. Does not fall over, does not fall back at all. So very nice. I do Gotta point out though that now that I put back the collapsed wings, they're very loose. So it seems like the ball pegs of the expanded wings are a little fatter, meaning it expanded the peg hole within the figure. So now that I put in the smaller peg, ball joints of the collapsed wings, if this is all making sense, it's very loose in there. So keep that in mind. I don't know why it should be the same size, but obviously it's not, because it just expanded the hole inside, and now it's not very loose, but it was noticeable when I was putting it together again. Alright, one thing I passed over when I was going up close and personal are the peg holes, I should say, on his forearm. Of course, for freedom, we do get the pegs, or the peg holes there, to peg in freedom. Alright, so here he is on his arm, and that works just fine. Thanks to the tight joints as well on the arms there, he can hold them up just fine. So that's very important, and he looks great. Alright, so moving on to his articulation, his head's going to sit on what seems to be a barbell peg. It's the ball jointed peg. So he looks up, and he looks down, about that much, left and right. Pretty good range considering he's got these little pigtails, but they don't get in the way at all. Head tilting, yeah, it's there. And then the arms are going to go forward and back. They go in and out. Pretty good range overall. It did not, I was just looking right now to see if it rubbed some of that printing, but it did not, so it's good. Got the butterfly joints, as you can see there, so that allows for more range of the arms going inwards. And of course outwards. Let's get the backpack off. And we have the swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows, they are pinned. Swivel at the wrist with a regular hinge for the right hand, and then we get the side hinge for the left hand. Meaning, I'm going to have to put the gun in his left hand instead of the right, because that's just how you should hold the gun. Forward and back on an ab crunch there at the torso. Pretty good. Goes back. And then we get the waist articulation swivel. It's the standard ball joint, but it's super tight this time around. That's been the issue lately, is that's been the loosest part of G.I. Joe's is the waist, and they fixed it all right. Legs are the standard G.I. Joe drop down legs. They're standard now for sure. Kicks forward pretty darn high, so pretty good there. Back down, in and out. Thigh swivels, double jointed pinned knees. We got the boot cut shin swivel, ankle hinge goes forward and back, and then we get the rocker as well. And there you go. That's the beauty of the side hinge for the hand while holding a gun. Look at that. It's a good little calm pose. He's not actively trying to attack for sure. Got the other hand on the under barrel, so I like that. You can definitely pose him in a very calm pose with the gun. And then of course one of my favorites is having the figure try to aim down the sight as close as possible as you can get it. It's not the best, but I think this is as far as I can go. It's not too bad, I guess. Just depends on how you angle it, which way you put the camera, because like that looks kind of weird. But it's definitely possible because of that wrist side hinge. Alright, so first up, this is the latest release that I've obtained, which is the Hasbro PostCon exclusive Zartan figure. So putting them next to him, and they're kind of in a similar pose here with weapons in their arms. You can see Zartan is a little bit taller. He does have the hoodie. Maybe that's what's causing that height difference. But in terms of Spirit next to Zartan, Spirit's just a tad bit shorter. Alright, up next here, he's next to Breaker. He definitely does suffer from the loose waist, loose leg issue that has plagued this line up until Spirit's Iron Knife, of course. But standing next to Spirit, he is about the same height, I guess. The helmet always throws it off. Maybe he's shorter. Spirit might be a little taller. Here he is next to a Cobra Viper, and I'd say these guys are about the same height. And all in all, I must say this figure is probably one of the better ones in the line, one of my favorite ones in the line. So it's looking pretty good so far for 2022. So that'll wrap it up for this review of the G.I. Joe Classified Series Spirit Iron Knife with Freedom. And this is a nice release. I gotta say, this is extra nice because it's a regular release too. So props to Hasbro, G.I. Joe team for doing that. This definitely would have been a Target exclusive if it was like a year ago, but they definitely did the right thing by releasing this as a regular release. Definitely, everybody in the line that this figure, or in the wave, I should say, that this figure comes in, are all sought after, and such a good choice to release them as a regular release and not bind it as an exclusive to a store, making it so difficult to find and selling out quick. So these are pre-orderable. You could still pre-order these figures right now. You can still pick them up now, and that's the beauty of it being a regular release. So hopefully we see that continuing to happen in the future for this line. I hope you all found this video helpful and enjoyed it. Leave a like down below, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification button to help me out. Leave a like, do whatever you want. As always, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.